1969, a group of astronauts changed the world. They ride the biggest rocket ever built to the moon. It's the culmination of more than 10 years of space pioneering and the foundation for more than 4 decades of exploring worlds beyond our own. This is the story of our greatest adventure. Just as Mission Control decides to ignore the computer alarms, the LEM sends another strange signal.
37 degrees.
We just saw this strange trajectory that we'd never seen in training.
300 feet down, 3.5, 47 forward.
He went down to about 400 feet, stopped his descent, and leveled off and started flying horizontally across the moon. He didn't tell us, but out the window what they were seeing was a big boulder field.
Our computer was steering us toward football stadium-sized craters, surrounded by steep slopes and covered with very large boulders.
50 down at 2.5, 19 forward. Altitude, velocity, light.
Neil had the one thing we did not have. He had the out-the-window view.
15 forward.
He knew whether he was over a safe place to land
200 feet.
or over a boulder field. My job was to tell him how much fuel he had. And when it had 0, that was our best knowledge. We had 0.
5.5 down. 9 forward.
The fuel states were falling, and we were getting close to what was going to be an abort situation.
100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward.
When we got to about 100 feet,
5%.
the low-level light came on, and Charlie Duke gave us a call of 60 seconds.
Simple call, Eagle, 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
We better get on the ground pretty soon.
He had 60 seconds to land, and after that 60 seconds, it would be abort.
Down 2.5.
I didn't want to disturb Neil's concentration because I knew he was really working that problem.
2.5. Picking up some dust.
And now Ig Crew is kicking up some dust. So we know they're darn close to the surface, but they were scooting pretty fast across it last time we heard.
4 forward, drifting to the right a little.
We used most of our remaining fuel, finding a relatively level and smooth landing spot.
Down a half. 30 seconds.
He had 30 seconds to land. I mean, it was deathly silent. Now, I don't think he was going to actually abort. I mean, that wouldn't have been the right stuff.
Contact light. Okay, engine stop. AGA at a descent.
I looked over at him, and he looked at me, and there was not a great emotion, but there was a smile of satisfaction on both of our faces, and
We shook hands.
413 is in. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
That you finally can say we just landed in the moon. We hit the moon with 17 seconds of fuel remaining.
4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
The flight of Apollo 11 was the culmination of many years of planning, working, building, and testing. Thousands of people had contributed toward this day of accomplishment. The great Saturn V rocket and the complex Apollo spacecraft had been assembled together and moved to the launch pad. The equipment and techniques and personnel had been proved in earlier missions, and now they were ready. The astronauts chosen for this mission had flown it many times in ground-based simulators. They had all been in space before. They had trained carefully and well, and now they too were ready. Astronaut Michael Collins would pilot the Apollo Command Module. Astronaut Edwin Aldrin Jr. would pilot the Lunar Module. And astronaut Neil Armstrong would serve as mission commander. Armstrong would be the first man to step upon the moon. Other astronauts had made this journey to the launch pad, but never with such anticipation. 9:32 a.m., July 16th. 3 hours later, the Apollo command module moves forward to extract the lunar module from the third stage of the launch vehicle. Both are moving at more than 17,000 miles an hour. Docked together, they will sail 250,000 miles across the sea of space and into orbit around the Earth's nearest neighbor.
Loud and clear now, Mike, and we understand that you are docked.
July 19th. Apollo 11 slows down and goes into orbit around the moon. The bright blue planet of Earth now lies 238,000 miles beyond the lunar horizon. Astronauts Armstrong and Aldrin, now in the lunar module, separate from the command module. Astronaut Collins remains behind. The Eagle is poised and prepared for its descent to the lunar surface.
40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. 4 forward. 4 forward. Drifting to the right a little. Good. Okay. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
Armstrong opens the Eagle hatch and begins his climb down to the surface.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
Despite the bulky spacesuits and the backpacks containing oxygen, temperature control, and communications equipment, the Apollo 11 crew found they could move easily about the surface. Through a specially made television camera, viewers in many nations on Earth were able to watch the astronauts as they walked and worked on the moon.